What do you call a cow on a trampoline?
I don't know. What?
A milkshake.
It's time for the Children's Hour, broadcasting live from the Sunspot Solar Studios in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
What's up, world? It's your boy Saul Paul. Sometimes you gotta just park Rex and chill. Sometimes you park Rex two-step. This is one of those times. So, I said, can you walk it forward? Can you walk it back? Lean with it, rock with it, just like that. Park Rex two-step. Hey, hey. Now park Rex two-step. Hey, hey. I said, can you walk it forward? Can you walk it back? Lean with it, rock with it, just like that. Park Rex two-step. Hey, hey. Now park Rex two-step. Hey, hey. You can play this in your white tee, or if you suited up. Chuck J's, high heels, if you booted up. You picture perfect, hey, I promise you look cute enough. Kick back, go relax, yeah, you doing up. This is for my families at the park, about to kill it up. Mr. DJ, this the one, go on, kill it up. Park Rick two-step, hey, true, it may be new to you, but if you let me school you, I can show you how to do it. I said, can you walk it forward, can you walk it back? Lean with it, rock with it, just like that. Park Rick two-step, hey, hey. Now park Rick two-step, hey, hey. I said, can you walk it forward, can you walk it back? Lean with it, rock with it, just like that. Park Rick two-step, hey, hey. Now park Rick two-step, hey, hey. You can play this on the school bus, or when you Uber. Play it on your iPhone or your computer. Play it when you're feeling good, wanna feel sober. Play it when you want it, shine, shine like the jeweler. Hey, Mr. DJ, play it, get 'em on the dance floor. Play it back to back, make 'em dance more. Park Rick two-step, hey, yeah, that's me that dance though. And I know the answer, but I still gotta ask. I said, can you walk it forward, can you walk it back? Lean with it, rock with it, just like that. Park Rick two-step, hey, hey. Now park Rick two-step, hey, hey. I said, can you walk it forward, can you walk it back? Lean with it, rock with it, just like that. Park Rick two-step, hey, hey. Now park Rick two-step, hey, hey.
The Park Rec two-step is Saul Paul. He's an artist from Jamaica. And you're listening to the Children's Hour. That song just came out yesterday. And we're happy to be playing it here on the Children's Hour. I am Katie Stone, and I'm here with a bunch of fabulous people. Hello, everybody in the studio.
Hello, it's Zen.
Hello, my name is Keith.
Hello, it's Amadeus.
Hi, it's Siobhan.
Well, we have a great show lined up for you. But first, it's been a while, and I'd love to catch up. What's new in the studio?
I lost a tooth last night.
No way. Let's see. He's showing us the tooth. Ooh, it's a molar. Wow. Did it hurt?
Not at all.
So last week, I don't think my dad gave me permission, but this week he did. He got braces.
Oh, how are those braces? How do you think he's doing with those braces?
Good.
Pretty good? Yeah? Okay. Well, then he can sort of, identify with all of our listeners who have braces. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the roadrunners who have been nesting in our yard have kind of left their nest, and the juveniles have been kind of hanging around, but I think are going to leave very, very soon. And they've been kind of just around, so that's fun.
Wow. Neat. I love it. Roadrunners. They're a thing here in New Mexico. We're broadcasting from Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's a sunny day, as it is most days in Albuquerque. Well, coming up on the show today, we're pretty excited because we have Leanne DeVane from the Santa Fe Chamber Music Festival. Do you all know even what chamber music is, honestly?
Not at all.
No. I didn't either, and to be fair. So we're going to learn about chamber music today. And then coming up in a little bit on the show is one of the producers of a brand new PBS Kids show that launches coming up this week. Brand new. It's coming out of Alaska, and it's called Molly of Denali. Maya is like so excited. All right, say it, Ma. Say it, Maya. You love this show?
Yes.
That's an enthusiastic yes. What do you like about it?
It's just very unique.
It is. And Maya Salganic is coming on the show to talk with us about Molly of Denali. And we have a lot of questions. Everybody's seen the episode, right? In the crew. We all got to see it.
Yeah.
And it was pretty gripping. So we can't wait to talk with Maya Salganic. And also, she brought along her son, Keith, and he's going to talk too about being part of the whole production team with his mom and what that's like. And he's a kid himself. But first, we thought we'd start with a little of this. This is Ralph Covert coming off of his Time Machine guitar. And stay tuned. This is the Children's Hour.
Mozart was riding with Papa Haydn on the streets of Vienna town. Haydn said, Amadeus, I'd like to play us an old-fashioned horse-riding song. Mozart said without hesitation, I have a variation I'd like to play. Haydn said, of course, on Beethoven's horse, I brought a piano today. All in a hurry, his face red with fury, Beethoven said, my horse is gone. Haydn said, it's right here, but we'll lend you an ear if you climb up and play us a song.
This is the Children's Hour, and we're talking with Leanne DeVane. She's the Director of Education and Outreach at the Santa Fe Chamber Music Festival in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Well, what is chamber music?
Chamber music is instrumental music played by a small ensemble with one player to a part. Over the centuries, the most important form of chamber music has been the string quartet, which was developed in the 18th century. A long, long time ago, before we ever had recordings or broadcast or digital music of any kind, folks played music in their homes as a pastime, and that's how chamber music developed. You would have small groups of people playing music together.
What composes a string quartet?
A string quartet is 4 instruments. Of course, the word quartet infers that. We have a violin 1, violin 2, viola, and cello.
What's the difference between violin 1 and violin 2?
The violin 1 usually plays the melody, and the violin 2 would play a melody below that melody or accompany the main melody.
And the Santa Fe Chamber Music Festival. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, the Santa Fe Chamber Music Festival was founded in 1972. Its original purpose, and still its purpose today, is to bring together the world's finest chamber musicians to perform in small groups. They perform classical music as well as other genres.
So are there other kinds of ensembles other than string quartet that get played in chamber music?
Oh, sure. Anything from solo piano to violin and piano duos, a vocalist with instruments such as guitar. You can have a vocalist with piano and a piano trio, including piano with 2 wind instruments such as clarinet or bassoon, or piano with violin and cello are examples.
So there's a big difference between a chamber music ensemble and a symphony.
A huge difference. A chamber music ensemble could be anywhere from 1, 2, or even 8 instruments. A symphony orchestra would have between 50 and 100 musicians and a conductor. We don't have a conductor in chamber music. The group together use physical gestures to keep the music together and to conduct each other.
Let's talk a little bit about the kinds of music that can be heard in a chamber music ensemble. And I'd love to hear a sample of chamber music. Can you play something for us?
Well, sure. Let's hear a clip from the first movement of the Haydn String Quartet, number 61 in D minor. The piece we're going to hear is very fun and very fast. The composer of the music, Franz Joseph Haydn. Haydn was known for making musical jokes. Right away as you listen, you'll hear 2 jokes. You'll think the music is going to stop, but it doesn't. As you keep listening, you'll hear the music slow way down and stop and then pick back up. And then you'll hear like several hop jumps from high to low, as if someone were jumping into a swimming pool. But-bomb, 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 but-bomb. So as we listen, let's remember, we're going to hear the jokes in the beginning, then the music will slow down and almost stop, then we'll hear the jumps.
Well, that was fun.
Oh, it was great.
And also, I really appreciated that composers are joking when they stop the music in the middle of a piece where everybody starts to clap.
Yes.
And then it turns out you're not supposed to clap. It's good to know they think that's funny, because I always thought that was
Well,
funny.
in this case, I think Haydn thought it was funny.
It is. You have more stuff coming up, and some of them are piano-based. This isn't a quartet anymore.
The piano trio by Franz Schubert is no longer a string quartet. We'll hear a piano, a violin, and a cello, 3 instruments. And as you listen to the excerpt, you'll listen for all 3 instruments and how they each take the melody at different times. You'll first hear a happy, frolicking music, as if we were skipping through the park, laughing and playing. Soon, the music will become very serious, and then soon again, really quiet. The excerpt we're hearing will end with the music becoming higher and higher and softer. Ready?
We're speaking with Leanne DeVane, and she is the director of education and outreach at the Santa Fe Chamber Music Festival in Santa Fe, New Mexico. You've explained how chamber music is a smaller group of musicians playing together, but from the point of view of an audience, what's the difference in its feel?
Well, it's more intimate. You can hear the instruments more individually than in a larger ensemble, and you can identify what you're hearing because you can see, if you've got just 2 or 3 or 4 instruments, you can see who's playing what. You can also see the expressions on the musicians' faces, and the music is just so enjoyable because of that.
So what's next?
We're going to hear Rain Tree for percussion by Toru Takemitsu. This piece is evocative of rain collected on a large tree, falling from the leaves long after the rain has passed some droplets. We'll hear sudden rushes of rain and a steady falling of rain.
That was an excerpt of Rain Tree by Toru Takemitsu, performed by the Peabody Percussion Trio. And a great example of chamber music, 3 marimbas. We're talking with Leanne DeVane. She's the director of education and outreach at the Santa Fe Chamber Music Festival. The Santa Fe Chamber Music Festival season is in the summers in Santa Fe. Tell us a little about your season.
We're going to launch the season July the 14th. The last concert is on Monday, August the 19th.
And folks want to learn more?
Visit us online at www.santafechambermusic.com.
Thank you for being with us and telling us all about chamber music.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. And from this point forward, we've got lots of music coming up.
Leanne DeVane from the Santa Fe Chamber Music Festival. She's the director of education and outreach. Thank you.
Thank you, too.
The Children's Hour is produced by the Children's Hour Incorporated, a New Mexico nonprofit dedicated to producing high-quality kids' public radio. Support provided by listeners just like you. Learn more at childrenshour.org. Follow us on social media. We're at TCH Radio. The Children's Hour will be right back. Welcome back to the Children's Hour. We are just so excited because we all got to see this brand new PBS Kids show that's starting this week on PBS stations around the nation called Molly of Denali. And it's really something else. And with us in the studio is one of the producers of Molly of Denali, Maya Salganic. Welcome to the Children's Hour.
Hey, everyone. Hope you're having a great day.
It's great to have you here. Thank you for being with us on the Children's Hour. I guess for listeners who aren't sure what this is, can you describe Molly of Denali?
Well, it's a new PBS Kids show, and Molly of Denali is an animation. Molly lives in Alaska, is an Alaskan Native little girl, and the show emphasizes learning goals of informational text along with traditional knowledge of Alaska.
I love it. We have lots of questions in the studio. I'm going to start over here with Maya, Maya, I think you should tell our listeners, how did you get introduced to Molly of Denali? How you started listening to the podcast, right?
Mhm,
Can you talk
yeah.
about that a little bit?
Well, I started listening to the podcast and it was really good and I really liked it and I love the dog. He's just the best and he's so funny.
Suki, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And also the training post, that's cool. And also all the other things.
And
I loved it all.
and you're listening to this as a podcast. That's pretty cool. Is this typical for PBS Kids to have a podcast?
You know, I think this is one of the new launching platforms that they've started to do. And, you know, I'm a producer of the interstitial, which is the live action component. So there are so many hundreds of people that have worked on this show, including the radio podcast artists and the voice actors and the animators and the kids who are being cast in this and the writers. So there's so many different aspects. There's people that are developing the games, but doing the podcast is a really important part because it gets people to know the characters early before they get to see them. So they sort of feel like they already know who they're about to meet.
Did you see the episode that they shared with us, Maya? Maya Malone. Did you see the other Maya, young Maya? Did you see the episode on the video episode?
Mhm.
Yeah. And did you think it was different from the podcast or how did it seem to you?
It was a little.
Yeah. Yeah. Did the characters look like what you had imagined?
Hmm.
They did. Wow, that's pretty neat.
Because I have seen trailers and stuff like that.
So you've been waiting for this show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anybody else? Yeah.
How'd you come up with the idea?
Well, it wasn't my idea. The woman, Dorothea Gillum, who is the executive producer of the show, had this idea and wanted to work with Alaska Native characters. And she really reached out. She's in Boston, from WGBH in Boston, and that's where the show originates from. But she also knew that when she was going to come up with this idea that she couldn't really do it by herself. So she reached out to Alaskans pretty much right away. She reached out to elders and community leaders and artists and storytellers and academics and really helped to bring together a very strong group of cultural advisors that helped to really design Molly from the very beginning. So even though she had the seed, there were lots of people that helped make that flower bloom that became Molly.
How many languages is the show going to be dubbed in?
Oh, I don't know how many languages it's going to be dubbed in. Right now, the show features, it's in English, but we share a lot of indigenous languages. Gwich'in, Koyukon Athabaskan, Inupiaq. You hear some Yupik language and even some Tlingit. We have a lot of Alaska Native languages still alive, and really people are excited about speaking their native languages and sharing their native language. And our hope is maybe at some point Molly will be done completely in Alaska Native languages.
Wow, that would be so cool.
Yeah, it's a fantasy for sure and a hope, and maybe it'll turn into reality too.
When we hear the characters speaking and their native characters on the screen, are those characters being voiced by native actors?
Definitely. They're all being voiced by native actors. It was a big push, and that was something we started out with up in Alaska, was trying to find the lead actors for Molly and her best friend, Tui. And we had a lot of casting auditions. We did big casting calls throughout the state. I worked very closely with different casting directors, and we worked with the children directly to help train them to be voice actors. Molly is being voiced by a girl named Sovereign Bill, and she actually lives in Seattle. She's Slinket and Muckleshoot. And we got to meet her, when was it, Keith? We got to meet her about a month ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Keith, what's your part on the show? You're a young man. How old are you? And come right to your mic. Yeah.
I'm 10 and I was in the interstitial and I was listening to the elders and comparing some photos.
Neat. Is it fun to work in a TV production?
Yeah.
Is this the first time you've worked in a TV production?
No.
Oh, seasoned actor already. How old are you?
10.
Wow. Pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Questions about Molly of Denali? Yeah, please come on up to your mic.
Although you guys normally work on the live action things, what can you tell us about the animation used and the program, and even if the characters are hand-drawn?
Well, I'd love to tell you more about the animation, but I have not had my personal hands on the animation. I can tell you that the animation's being done in Vancouver. So we have producers in Boston, we have recording being done in Vancouver, as well as some of the voice acting being done in Seattle. And then the animation house is Atomic Cartoons in Vancouver. They've done lots of big shows that you would recognize. And if you guys go to their website, you'll see a lot of details about what they've done. And they use a number of different programs. And a lot of the characters are originally hand-drawn as they're coming up with the animatic, which is sort of the rough draft of what it looks like. So the first step of the animation is to do exactly what we're doing, which is the voice part. So the actors will read the voice acting parts and read the script after the script is written, and then send that to the animators. And the animators will have had designs that go back and forth, are shared with the producers, or shared with the cultural advisors. And the cultural advisors will say, well, that type of beating would actually be done slightly differently. And they'll revise the animation to make sure that it's accurate culturally as well as aesthetically. The animation is absolutely beautiful in this show.
It is a beautiful show's animation. And also, I was really interested in how authentic the stories are. You're showing actual photographs in your interstitial piece. You're showing actual photographs of a scene maybe taken 100 years ago or a long time ago. And then the kids are holding those up to the same exact place and comparing what it looks like today. It's very moving to see that.
Well, thanks.
It's really neat. Yeah.
Why did you make up the town Molly lives in? We Googled it, and it said that you guys were just making up the town.
Yeah, that's a really good question. Yeah, Molly lives in a town called Kaya, which isn't actually on the map. And I think that the reason for doing that is that oftentimes if we were representing a specific community, there would be a lot of discussion and debate with that community as to whether or not they are being represented accurately. Right? And so by creating a fictional town, we can have lots of fake families that live in there, and nobody feels like it's their family or their community or their school that's being represented, right? So it gives us a lot more flexibility in sharing a lot of stories around Alaska, which are authentic, but not this specific space. So it's sort of a conglomeration or a composite of a lot of different aspects of Alaska in a new location. Great question.
Are you planning on introducing us as the series progresses to different aspects of specifically Alaskan Native life, like specific Alaskan Native traditions that we might not see down here in our Native traditions in New Mexico or elsewhere in the country? Will we be learning some specific Alaskan things?
Yeah, I think we're learning some specific Alaskan things. You know, there's the language like Masicho. Do you guys want to say that with us?
Masicho.
Masicho. It's like from the heart, I thank you. Right? That's Gwich'in, Athabascan, Masicho. So being able to incorporate some of the language is one first aspect that you'll get to see, but also how things are made and also the value of what those things mean to the people, what the value of the fish means to the people. A lot of people in Alaska still hunt and gather their own food every year. We just came from fish camp and we were fishing for salmon. So, and I was filming some of that for the online component for Molly of Denali, which will be coming out soon. So getting a sense of those kinds of aspects of these are important values to Alaskans, of taking care of our elders, of being aware of the land and how we take care of the land. Those are things that'll come out in the show episode after episode.
Yeah, that was something I noticed when Molly and her friends go to canoe. One of the people who was working on their canoe actually blessed the river and said, hey, I mean, he didn't say this exactly, but he said, carry these people safely and all that. He honored the river, which is very nice. And
is that a real thing that happens for canoers in Alaska? Because it would seem to be kind of dangerous to canoe in Alaska in a way for us inland people.
We just, Keith, maybe you want to share a little bit about our adventures on the Yukon River, but we just came from the Yukon River. And the first thing I was told to do we were traveling with the creative producer of Molly of Denali, Princess Johnson. And the first thing she told me to do is, you need to meet the river. Put your hand in the river and introduce yourself to her.
Keith, is that pretty accurate?
Yeah.
Is that what you saw?
Yeah, we did that. Yeah.
That's really neat. What's your favorite part of working on this show, do you think, Keith?
Well, my friends were in it too with me, and that was fun, just like having friends there.
I would think so. We're speaking with Maya Salganic and Keith Maynor, and they work on Molly of Denali. It's a brand new PBS Kids show that starts this week, July 14th, July 15th, around the nation. And you can catch it on PBS wherever you live. And just wanted to close with this, with your theme song is actually written by a native band from Alaska. I was Googling this band. They're really fun.
Yeah, Bumua, they're good friends, and their music is wonderful. And there is a traditional Athabascan fiddler who's featured in it, and it's a wonderful, catchy tune. And I hope you guys all sing along.
Thank you so much for being with us, Maya Salganic and Keith Maynor from Molly of Denali. Thank you.
Gunlakchish.
Hey everyone, it's me, Molly.
Molly of Denali.
Let's go.
She's Molly of Denali.
By plane, a sled, or snowshoe, she is ready to explore. From Kaktovik down to Juneau, always wanting to learn more.
Yeah.
Together with her best friend, Tui, always by her side.
And Trini.
Discovering the outdoors on adventures day and night.
Come along with Molly.
Molly.
Through fields of fireweed.
Come along with Molly. Molly. From tundra to the sea.
Masicho, let's go.
Molly of Denali.
Yeah.
She's Molly of Denali.
Come on,
let's go. Molly of Denali. She's Molly of Denali.
Ayang 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 Huwag ketamani ang lanilak dekat ayang atung hakatan heyang 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 ayang heyang ayang heyang heyang Huwag ko tamani ang lanilang lugod. Aya, yung kakakamdan. Eyang, eya, eyang, 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 eya. Eyang, eya, eyang, eya, aya, eyang, eyang, eya. Aya, eyang, eyang, eya. Eyang, eya, eyang, eyang, eya. Eyang, eya, eyang, eya,
Norutena busadiko bibido nerude bam bam Manu sabido labido fetido nerude bam bam Norute bam bam nerute bam bam Norute bam bam nerute bam bam
Summer means school is out, but that shouldn't mean that children who depend upon school breakfasts and lunches need to go hungry. The USDA Food and Nutrition Service distributes free lunches all summer long to children nationwide. To find a site near you anywhere in the United States, go to summerfoodrocks.org.
You're listening to the Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio. We'll be right back.
Summertime living is easy, and the fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your daddy is rich, and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing, and you'll spread your wings, and you'll take to the sky. But until that morning, there ain't nothing can harm you. With your daddy and mama standing by. Little sister.
Welcome back to the Children's Hour. In that break, you heard Willie Nelson doing Summertime. And before the break, you heard Rikki Tikki Tavi done by a band called Faruala. And a CD is called Sospiro. And before that, you did hear the Reindeer Herding song by Pamua, which they are also the band who did the Molly of Denali theme song. And they are from Alaska. And their name means... and I only know this because of Maya Selganic, means like bravo, like, yay, bravo, that was so good, encore. So you are tuned to the Children's Hour. We're broadcasting from Albuquerque, New Mexico, where often the sun is shining. And when the sun is shining, you sometimes have to be careful for leaving food out in the sun.
Can't it like melt? Or
right. Like it can get kind of rotten. Certain kinds of food can get really gross in the sun and in the summertime. But, peanut butter and jelly generally holds up for a picnic. And there's some foods you want to put in a picnic that are good and some foods that aren't so good. And so we decided we wanted to play this to like a little public service announcement, but a funny one. This is Gunnar Madsen coming off of a CD called I Am Your Food. You're listening to the Children's Hour.
Egg salad in the sun. Egg salad in the sun. Sweating under stretched plastic skies. Russian roulette, bacteria cries. Egg salad in the sun. Egg salad in the sun. The chicken's almost done. The hot dog's in a bun. Devil in the eggs, multiply. Don't let it go to waste. Save a taste for Brian. Egg salad in the sun. Egg salad in the sun. Yeah, yeah. Beware. Internet told me. Take cover on the Lady Nature's would you have a picnic on such a hot day? Father! Why are the drinks not cold? Brian? Brian! Has anyone seen Brian? He was enjoying the egg salad. Is this the end of Brian? The end of Brian.
Ain't nothing in the world that I like better than bacon and lettuce and homegrown tomatoes. Up in the morning, out in the garden, get you a ripe one, don't get a hard one. Plant 'em in the spring, eat 'em in the summer. All winter without 'em's a culinary bummer. I forget all about the sweating and digging every time I go out and pick me a big homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Well, you can go out to eat, and that's for sure, but it's nothing a homegrown tomato won't cure. Put 'em in a salad, put 'em in a stew. You can make your very own tomato juice. You can eat 'em with eggs, you can eat 'em with gravy. Eat 'em with beans, pinto or navy. Put 'em on the side, put 'em in the middle. Put a homegrown tomato on a hot cake griddle. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Change this life I lead, well, I'd be Johnny Tomato Seed, 'cause I know what this country needs. It's homegrown tomatoes in every yard you see. When I die, don't bury me in a box in a cemetery. Out in the garden, be much better, and I could be pushing up homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What'd life be without homegrown tomatoes? Only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes.
Mozart's Sonata in C starts with a short doodle-doodle-dee. Then there's a lot-a-la-di-da, like it or not a lot-a-la-di-da-la-di-da. Yes, the sonata got a lot-a-la-di-da-di-da. It's got a lot-a-la-di-da like a sonata oughta. Mozart begot a lot-a-la-di-da-da-la-di-da. He thought a lot-a-la-di-da ought to be in a sonata. This sonata got a lot-a-la-di-da. But don't bet that it's done for doodle-doodle-dee. No, not yet. There's a ton more doodle-doodle-dee. And there's some dum-dum. Don't ask how come or where it's from. But when it's through, here's what we do. We move on to something that's new. A little blub. Blub, blub, blub. Doodle-doodle-deedle, finally. La-di-da-di, doodle-doodle-dee. That's a la-da-la-di-da-dum-dum-and-doodle-dee. Now let's do it one more time again in harmony. Mozart's Sonata in C, same as before, doodle-doodle-dee. Then we'll repeat a lot la-di-da-da-la-di-da-da too. We complete a lot of la-di-da-di-da-da-da. If you forgot a lot of la-di-da-da-la-di-da-da, there's not a lot of la-di-da-da left in this sonata. Whether or not we got a lot of la-di-da, we gotta finish this sonata, then we oughta all say thanks a lot of this sonata. Got a lot of la-di-da.
That's enough for la-di-da-da anyhow because we gotta
Move along once again to doodle-diddle-dee. In this song, this is when you doodle-diddle-dee. Then, dum-dum is here, but never fear, the end is near. So come what may, you gotta stay, and then make way while we replay. A bit more blub, 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 blub. That leads us to the end of doodle-doodle-dee finale, doodle-doodle-dee. Now it's true, we're through it, dum-dum-dum and doodle-dee. Toodle-doo-dee, you in the sonata, that's in C.
Mana-mana. Mana-mana. Mana-mana.
In the background from a CD called Cake Cannot Be Trusted, the Pitches May Be Crazy vocal band is doing Mana Mana. And before that, you heard the La-Di-Da Sonata, Beethoven's Wig, featuring Richard Perlmutter, from a CD called Beethoven's Wig, Sing-Along Piano Classics. And before that, Guy Clark brought us Homegrown Tomatoes. Hope you're enjoying yours in your garden. And Egg Salad in the Sun was Gunnar Madsen from a CD called I Am Your Food.
The Children's Hour is written and produced by Katie Stone, with help from all of us on the Kids Crew. Engineering help this week by Andres Martinez here at the Sunspot Solar Studios.
Find us on social media. We're at TCH Radio on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Many thanks to our guests, Maya Selganic and Keith Maynor from PBS Kids' new show, Molly of Denali. And thank you to New Mexico PBS and Evie Todd. Also, thank you to Leanne DeVane from the Santa Fe Chamber Music Festival. Find out more about the Children's Hour at childrenshour.org. We're going to go out with some music from Chile, Los Patapela, which means barefoot, with their song Un Zoológico en mi casa. We'll catch you next week for another great edition of the Children's Hour.
Animales en mi casa, en mi casa, que llevo a jugar a la plaza. Animales reciclados, son tantos que llegan al tejado.
Algo grande descubrí, con un plumero hice un colibrí. Le puse ojos de botón, así nació mi colibrí cabezón. Hice algo con muchas ganas, con un papelero hice una rana. Sus ojos son un par de bolitas, mi rana se traga las basuritas. Animales en mi casa, papel de diario he inventado un gran caballo. ¡Yeah! Con él hoy día montañas corrí, Así fue como
si yo rompí.
Ups. Con lana y un viejo zapato he inventado un travieso gato. De tanto hacerlo trepar y saltar, del techo aún
no lo puedo bajar.
Animales en mi casa que llevo a jugar a la plaza. Animales reciclados son tantos que llegan al tejado. A mi papá le pedí una cuerda para crear una culebra. Al estirarla tanto creció que al enrollarla se me enredó. Con la aspiradora que me encontré, un elefante yo inventé. En casa aseo no se hizo porque mi invento
Se comió todo el piso.
Animales en mi casa que llevo a jugar a la plaza. Animales reciclados son tantos que llegan al tejado.
The Children's Hour is produced by the Children's Hour Incorporated, a New Mexico nonprofit dedicated to producing high-quality kids public radio. Support provided by the Friends of the Children's Hour. Find out more at childrenshour.org. There you can also find our podcasts, photos from the shows, and our newsletter sign-up. Meow Wolf is a proud supporter of the Children's Hour. Meow Wolf believes that engaging educational content is one of the best ways to fuel a child's imagination, and that's truly a powerful thing. meowwolf.com. Support also provided by the Albuquerque Community Foundation's Infinite Gesture Fund. Our theme music was written by C.K. Barlow. We'll be back next week with another edition of
The Children's Hour, Kids Public Radio.